Okay, good morning. Today I will discuss about the transaction. These are the contents. First, we will discuss about the transaction concept. In this, we will discuss about the definition of transaction. Then we will see acid property. Every transaction should satisfy four properties. That is, one is your atomicity, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation, and D stands for durability. We will completely see what this acid property is in this lesson. Then we will see transaction states. Whenever a transaction is performed at that moment, how the transaction goes through various states, that we will see in these transaction states. First, I will discuss about transaction concept, that means definition of transaction. A transaction is a collection of sequence of operations that forms a single logical unit of work. Understood? And we can explain it in more details. A transaction is a collection of sequence of operations that forms a single logical unit of work. Suppose one bank database is there. Okay, suppose one bank database is there and there are various transactions performed on this bank database. Suppose T1, T2, T3, three transactions are there and these three transactions are performed on this bank database. Okay, then suppose the T1 transaction is like that. Suppose transfer of T1 transaction is transfer of rupees 50 from account A to account B. Okay, suppose this is your account A and initial balance of suppose account A is your account balance is your 100 rupees initially, and for account B the initial balance is suppose 200 rupees. And to perform this transaction T1, we have to perform some sequence of operations that we will see. And the single logical unit of work is your transfer of 50 rupees from account A to account B. Then first what we have to see, first we have to check whether 50 rupees is present in account A or not. Okay, that is your read account A. And if 50 rupees is present, then deduct 50 rupees from account A. That means account balance of A is equal to A minus 50. Okay. Then similarly in account number B, we have to add 50 rupees. That's why we have to perform B is equal to B plus 50. And all those operations, these are the sequence of operations which we have to perform to complete this single logical unit of work. Then for this transaction T1, what are the various operations we have to do here? First one is here read A, first step. Then here we have to deduct 50 rupees from account A. That means A is equal to A minus 50. Then your third step is here write on A. That means save or update the account A information. Then first step is here read B. Then update B. B is equal to B plus 50. Then sixth step is here write B. That means these are the various sequence of operation, and all those operation has to be performed in sequential manner. This is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, this is your 4, this is your 5, this is your 6. Understood? These are the sequence of operation which we have to perform to complete a single logical unit of work. The logical unit of work is here transfer of 50 rupees from account A to account B. And this we can say a transaction. Understood? Okay. Then here sequence of 6 operations are there which are sequentially executed to complete one single logical work, and this is your transaction. And in this case, in this sequence of operations, generally some operations are your IO operations and some operations are CPU operations, or some operations are IO bound operations and some operations are CPU bound operations. What are the IO bound operation and what are CPU bound operation? The operations which require most of its time to execute inside the IO devices is known as IO bound operations, and the operations which require CPU for its execution, that is known as CPU bound operation. And in this case, the read account A, this is your IO bound operation. Similarly, this is your A is equal to A minus 50. This is not equal to, this is your minus 50. And this is your CPU bound operation. And write A means this is your IO bound operation. Read B, this is your IO bound operation. This is your CPU bound operation. And this is your IO bound operation. In this case, in this 6 number of operations, 3 number of operations are IO bound, 4 number of operations are IO bound, and 2 number of operations are CPU bound operations. Understood? That means suppose one transaction is there T1, that means how it will be executed. Some of the instructions are executed IO bound operations, then some of the instructions executed CPU bound operation, then another what instruction is there which is IO bound, then another instruction is there which is CPU bound. In this way the transaction T1 executes, and whenever T1 is executing one IO bound operations, at that moment the CPU is idle. Understood? That's why if multiple transactions are executing T1, T2, T3, if sequentially T1 first executed, then T2, then T3, then it will be your time consuming process, then it will takes more time. Okay, that's why as like your what process management, in case of process management, concurrent execution is needed to increase the efficiency of the CPU. Similarly, to increase the efficiency of the CPU, you have to what execute the various transaction in concurrent manner. That means whenever one transaction is performing its IO operation, at that moment we can perform CPU operations of another transaction. Okay, and in this case, suppose CPU is busy, then it is your idle. This operation is not doing anything. Then after that, suppose it requires CPU, then it can execute. In this way, multiple transactions can be concurrently executed to enhance the efficiency of the CPU. Okay, that's why concurrent execution is needed in this case. And in case of what operating system, all of you know, whenever two processes are there, P1 and P2, and they want to execute what they want to do some operation, or they want to execute, and some common data item is shared among process P1 and P2, at that moment problem arises. Similarly, in this case also, so for T1 and T2, two transactions are there, and they want to execute simultaneously. At that moment, if some common data item is there, then problem arises. Okay, then that problem, how to handle those problems, that is coming under your transaction concept. But the main basic concept is here to explain what is transaction and what is the definition of transaction, that I have already explained you. Understood? Suppose another thing we will see now, right now. Suppose T1, T2, two transactions are there.